And now it's time for Photobooth Live Chat with John Young. Welcome to our Monday night show here on PDN TV. I'm John Young, your host, and tonight we'll be talking to Eric Wilson here in just a few minutes. He'll be joining us. But before we jump into tonight's show, where Eric's going to be talking about his experience developing, growing, and expanding his photo booth business, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Photobooth Expo coming up here February 24th through the 27th in Las Vegas. We're going to be at the South Point Casino. You can go to photoboothexpo.com, and there you will find all the information. The hotel at the discounted rates, the show passes. You can buy your show passes. Use promo code PBXShow2020. You're going to get a great deal on your passes. You can buy exhibit-only passes. If you already have a pass, you can upgrade, go to the DJ track if you want to. A lot of different options within that pass area. Then the educational seminars. That's all there. They've pretty much got everyone. I think they might have a spot remaining or two, but otherwise they are all there, lined up and ready to go. And it should be available. Let me make sure. Everything should be available out there for information, so you guys can jump in and be part of Photobooth Expo in 2020. Kind of a couple of cool things that may not be on there yet is there's going to be a couple of parties that will be happening. Monday night, there's going to be kind of an 80s party where you're going to be able to go and hang out. It's going to be music video, and it's going to be kind of a networking time. And this is happening in the Brunswick Room at the South Point there. So right across from I think the movie theater's across the hall, and just down the hall is the Brunswick bowling alley. So it's all up in that area, and that's where we're going to be on Monday night with an 80s party. So you can go get yourself an adult beverage, come on in, hang out. We'll have the tables and chairs set up. It's not going to be a dance night. It's not going to be super loud. It's going to be that time to go in and kind of hang out and chill. Then on Wednesday night, we're going to be having the PBX party. This is the Photobooth Expo. This is the big party. This is going to be happening at the showroom there at South Point Casino. And we're going to have DJs from around the country coming in, and they're going to be spinning. And these are the club DJs that you've heard about and seen at different places around. Yeah, they're going to be coming in Wednesday night and hanging with us at the show. So it should be there. That should do it. Just Eric's getting a link here on that. So that will be going on Wednesday night. So 3 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday education days. Exhibit halls open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday, if you are able to hang around, is a great time to be there because that's the day that they blow things out. If they still have it, they would rather sell it to you than to take it back with them. And I saw last year on Thursday, there were some deals, some killer deals on things, backdrops and decor and props and things. They are there to get rid of the stuff. They don't want to hang on to it. So Thursday's a great time. I mean, you can get deals throughout the show. Don't get me wrong. There's some fabulous deals. Things that I've seen there that were not that price anywhere is happening at Photobooth Expo. So that is coming up here February 24th through the 27th in Las Vegas at the South Point. For those of you flying in for this show, you can come in, fly into the main airport there in Las Vegas. There's a shuttle that goes from the airport to South Point, because South Point's kind of off the strip. If you've never been to South Point, it's a great hotel. It's got a lot of amenities there. So you can, the bowling, there's video, there's actually an arena where there's usually horses doing their thing down on that end. There's down the casino, obviously. There's a Steak and Shake, which pretty much after the Steak and Shake, that was pretty much all you needed to know. But there's different food options and things down below. Just a neat place to be for that. So just hang on, I get Eric here. Use the number code in the link in Zoom. Just having a little technical difficulty getting things to open up. I think I might have a window block going on there. So yeah, thanks, Joe, for being with us here. And I'm just seeing the chat room here as I'm going through. So there's probably a few more of you that are out there and such, as I'm trying to balance multiple different windows tonight. So yeah, we've got a couple of different shows that are going to be going on this week, but we're really going to be getting into our sequence now, where we're going to be talking to photo booth owners on like the interview shows like tonight, and then we're going to be talking to some of the presenters that are going to be speaking at Photobooth Expo 2020. So that way, for those of you who are kind of wondering, it's like, well, what should I attend? What seminars? What have you? Well, I want to try to get as many of these presenters on the shows as possible, so that you get a flavor for who these people are. Is it someone that you want to hang out and listen to, or is it something that you're going to go to go check out something else at that particular period of time? Not every seminar is for every person, and I get that. I think we all get that. So if you can be bouncing around and such, that is a good thing. Not a problem with that. So once again, the links, you can go out to pbntv.com/tickets. That'll take you directly to the ticket portal for Photobooth Expo 2020. Or you can go to Photobooth Expo, and from photoboothexpo.com, you can find the portal for the tickets, portal for the hotel rooms, portals, check out the full schedule and such. It's all right there. So you guys can go and check that out. And we will be able to get you going and see you in February. Okay, Eric, I'm going to turn mic up here if you've got audio. Yes, do you have audio?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, John?
Yes, I can. Now, just hang on a sec.
Hey.
Hang on a sec. I'm going to get everything cleared, and then I'm going to bring you on in.
Okay.
And there we are. All right. Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging with and getting things on, getting connected here. So excellent.
Here we're talking about being tech savvy tonight, and it took me a few extra minutes to figure out this whole Zoom thing.
Well, and the weird part about it, if you guys, for those of you who don't know, Zoom is a kind of a conferencing. It's really kind of a solid conferencing. We've been using it. We were one of the first users of Zoom. We used it back before they were sponsoring airline flights, so we've been using it for a long time. But there's times where if there's a blocker, an ad blocker, or if there's a cookie in a block opening up a window, one little piece can kill it.
Yeah.
And I think, Eric, that's what happened to you tonight, is one little piece wasn't working.
It took me a little bit, but, we're here and, ready to talk a little bit and, try to educate some people and maybe get some education from those out there as well.
Yeah. So let's kind of jump into it. To kind of tell us, when did you get into the photo booth, and how did that part kind of evolve for you?
So, we did the DJ part of it. That's been going on since 1986. I just really aged myself.
You did.
Freshman in college. But we're still going strong. So I don't know, maybe it was 7 or 8 years ago was the first time that we really kind of looked at these things. And I always thought photo booths were fun. You see them in the mall, you see them at different places. And we always jumped in and made silly faces and all. So when the technology became available, we started seeing them at the shows. I think the show that I first saw them was DJ Expo. And it might have been Atlanta Photo Booths. We're one of the first guys to come out with what I call the classic booth, that the telephone booth type of photo booth. So after looking at those guys for a couple years, I had a couple inquiries, and we designed ours. We built our first one by ourselves, our classic one, after seeing what other people were doing and seeing what we liked, what we didn't like, and to make it portable. So our first one is pretty clunky. It's pretty big. It is definitely the size of a phone booth. Our vans are 72 inches tall, and I made it 70 inches tall so we could stand it up inside there. So that was, I guess, probably 8 or 9 years ago. So
That's what, yeah. We had that much room on top.
yeah, absolutely. It's enough that the photo booth just fits, but myself, I can jump up and down inside there. Plenty of room for me.
So you started that. Moving, and when we talked the other day, you'd mentioned, of course, that you've had a variety of different types of booths and throughout your years of doing that. You started with the big boxy one. Where did that progression take before you changed that look or that unit?
About 4 years ago, people started asking for the open booth. And of course, people see this stuff on Etsy and on all these sites. So they asked me for the open air booth. So we've just simply had pipe and drape. I had just a professional photo backdrop, the splotchy brown backdrop. Bought another camera, bought another printer, and then we kind of ran with it there. Now we've progressed into getting like the pillowcase backdrops, where you have different backgrounds for them. We can also use green screen. So that's kind of another angle on the open air, which, it's been really nice and pretty profitable for us.
So you've evolved. You've got a lot more things. Are you doing packages now with the things you're offering, or are you doing upsells? Basic and then upsell. How are you handling things?
Definitely packages. So if we were to do, and I'll throw numbers out there, in my market, I charge $9.95 for a straight up 4-hour gig, unlimited prints. We can do the custom logo for them on the bottom. And if they book it with a DJ package, then I bring it down to $800. So that comes with an operator. We always have somebody on site. We always have somebody there to walk the people through it, say, hey, push this button here, get the props back, in case there's any error. I mean, once in a while you'll have a paper jam and ink jam. So we always have an operator on site. So that's kind of the way we've done those packages. And additionally, there are a lot more things out there. Of course, uplighting, that's another package, the letters and things like that. The custom monogram on the floor. But the photo booth has been something that has paid itself back so quickly.
Sure.
These things, the second one that I bought, the open air one, was from Ray Borgia.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Ray at one of the shows as well. And I bought, it's called the T20 booth.
Sure.
You buy a touchscreen computer. The T3 Rebel goes right inside it. We use high T printers, high T or high tie. Not really sure how you pronounce that.
Yep.
For $5,000, you're in business. And again, if you're charging $1,000, it takes you 6 gigs to start making money.
So obviously you're able to get a pretty decent return yet, as then a lot of people struggle with that. What did you find that was giving you that success to be able to command or to ask for that kind of a dollar and to be able to get that from potential clients?
Where we are, it's a pretty small area up here in upstate New York. We travel around quite a bit. With the professional side of things, we do the entire East Coast for weddings and events like that. We're pretty much local within 100-mile radius. So we're always a step ahead. We always try to have the newest and the best things. Mm-hmm. And I think that helps. If people see it on the internet, they want it right away. And we have that for them.
Nice.
So I think that helps. Reputation, we've been doing this, like I said, since '86. Photo booths for 8 years. We have what I like to think is the best equipment available. So we're always going to have a nice print. We're always going to have more props than other people. We try to just do things, to the best of our ability that we can. And I think people appreciate that.
You mentioned, of course, that you're doing prints. Now, the selfie booth has become a big thing, and we've seen a lot of it. Why did you not look at that area, or did you look at that and pass on that? Or what was your thoughts with that?
I did look at that. I'm trying to think which show it was that I saw. It was a little kiosk, and I guess they take the picture and they can print it onto the Buddy printer.
There's a variety of different.
Okay, so that's the one that I looked at. I threw it out there, threw some ideas out there to some different clients, and they kind of hedged on it. So once I get a couple people that are interested, that's when I'll make the purchase.
Sure.
That's when I'll go ahead and try to take away some of these shadows on my face here.
No,
So that's what I do is I like to look at. The return on investment is crucial for us.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to throw money out there and not have it make you money. So look at those. Like the ring roamer. We haven't invested in that yet. First person that asks me for it, boom, we're going to get it.
Right.
So that's kind of a Fifth or Sixth Avenue. There are a lot of different types of booths out there. We use the 4 different types of booths like we spoke the other day. The third one that I purchased was through Photomaster, and that was their graffiti wall.
Yes.
And have you seen the graffiti wall at
Oh,
some of
yes.
the shows?
Yep.
It's a lot of fun. I call it an elaborate Snapchat filter. I've used it at grad night parties. I
Yep.
haven't used it at any weddings yet. Grad night parties, we used it at my daughter's Sweet 16 a couple weeks ago. And it's awesome because you've got a big screen there and the kids are playing around and they're putting all the, the different faces and the hats and the mustaches and things on them. Then they spray it at the end. And that program can also do the green screen. So that was our third type of booth that we invested in.
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth one, I don't know if I'll call it a booth per se, is I bought the mosaic wall. And that's again through Photomaster. I bought the mosaic. We did that last year for an event called the International Children's Games, which came to Lake Placid. And we had all these kids, and we had 600 kids in town from around the world. And so each one of those was taking pictures with our booth, or they were sending us the pictures through Instagram. And we popped those up and we created a nice kind of mural at the end. That's pretty expensive to run, to operate. You're talking $600 for the stickers. So it's a little more expensive. So you have to charge a little more. And that was more geared towards corporate clients.
Yeah. For those of you who aren't familiar with the mosaic, there's, as Eric said, all these pictures are taken, they come into the system, then the software tells you where to put this on this wall. And then once it's all done, it becomes another picture.
Correct. We used the actual logo of the games.
Oh, nice.
And so some of them were shaded. You had the 5 colors of the Olympic rings: blue, black, red, yellow, green. And then the pictures came out shaded for that color, and you really don't know what it is until it creates the logo at the end. And it can be anything. You could take a bride and groom. You could take their picture, their engagement picture.
Yeah.
All the guests come to the reception, and each one is shaded properly. And I guess something like that, you'd want to do a smaller. We did 96 by 96, which is a lot of pictures.
Oh my goodness!
It was a 4-day event, and so we had to do a couple of reprints at the end to fill in the whole entire mosaic. But for a bride and groom, maybe do 20 by 20, 22-inch photos by 20. And you could probably poly it, laminate it at the end. Mm-hmm. It's a cool little keepsake.
Yeah, for sure. I was just envisioning not the 8 foot by 8 foot, but if you were doing a 4 by 4 at a wedding, you get to that point where it's like, okay, we've got an hour left in a night. Everyone line up. You're taking pictures.
Right.
We got to knock it off. We got to finish a picture.
Well, when they created this, I think they probably ran into some trouble the first few times they used it, and they came up with a reprint option. So it'll reprint the pictures that have already been used, but different shading, and they'll be assigned a different
spot.
Yeah.
That's logical.
So it's just a grid. Say A1, it'll say C43 or whatever, and you put them where they belong. So it's kind of fun because it randomizes all the pictures, and then it comes together at the end.
Eric, we had a question here from David in the chat, and David was wondering if you were, in your thoughts, if that the prints are eventually going to get to the point where people are not going to want them now that everyone's with digital on the phones and different things. Right. Are you seeing any of that?
I see the prints. I see people loving the prints. For me, for years, I've always had them on the refrigerator. So when we do bridal shows, I always have our logo on the bottom of it. That's the promotion.
Yeah.
You're at the show, we're going to give you a demo of the unit, but I will always have my logo on the bottom because nobody throws away a picture. On my refrigerator down in my shop downstairs. Man, we have them from the Las Vegas DJ show, from when we used to go before I was working the show, when I would attend the show.
Yeah.
So we've got those from a long time ago, and I don't know. I don't see people asking so much for the virtual print.
Yeah.
We do offer the ability to upload them so they can share them on their other sites or whatever. But I have not had anybody say, "Hey, we just want to do we don't want the actual print at all."
Good.
So
Thank you.
That's in my area.
Yeah. Thank you for the question, David. If you guys have any questions, you can put those into the chat, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, and they pop out to my window here, 9 chances out of 10, in case there's one that doesn't.
Is there a place I can see the questions come through too?
I've got the software that grabs all of the chats. We're out on.
Okay.
Yeah, I can share the link to. There's a few folks here who are out with us on YouTube. And I can.
Well, there are a lot of times that I'm one of those guys in the back talking, sending in questions to you guys.
Yep.
I see some of the familiar faces. Yep.
There's a few folks there, but yeah, quite a few are on Facebook, and we're streaming out to 12 different spots tonight. So
Wow, cool.
So
I've got the software that grabs all the
there you
chats
go.
that are on.
Yeah, you're good.
you-
Yeah, now you can get that. Yep, there you get that. Shut
You
up.
have me on delay just in case. You
Yes,
never know
there,
what I'm going
there
to say.
is. Well, there's that the delay. You and I are about we're I think 15 seconds ahead of Facebook, and we're 30 seconds ahead of YouTube. So
Okay.
Eric, let's jump to staffing. You mentioned you have an attendant that goes with. I want to talk about recruitment and finding people. Then we're going to talk about training a little bit, and then kind of how for compensation and such, how you handle those areas. So let's start recruitment of staff for the year photo booth.
Okay. You know, sometimes we wear many hats here at Good Guy Productions. There are times that I'm going to be the guy running the booth for you if there's nothing else going on and everybody's busy.
Mm-hmm.
My DJs will sometimes do it. My lighting designer will sometimes be the guy. But also, my daughter is now 16, and she wants to buy a car. So I've taught her how to change the paper, how to change the ribbon, how to troubleshoot it a little bit. So it isn't really too technical. I have everything there ready to go, whether it be myself or one of my other guys. So the booth is pretty easy. All of the booths are pretty easy to operate. Once you get into the graffiti booth is a little more difficult. You have to line up the sensors and things like that. But for the actual simple photo booths, I mean, I use Breeze software, and it's pretty user friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had college kids. We have a couple of local colleges. $100 for college kids for 4 hours. You know, that's pretty good for them.
Yeah.
They come in, they help me, set it up quickly, and they get out of there. So maybe 5 hours front to back.
Nice.
Training. I would love everybody to know and to sit down and spend the time that I do on how to adjust the monograms on the bottom.
Yes.
They have to be a certain size. They have to be, positioned sometimes correctly. Last weekend we had 3 out on New Year's Eve. One of them didn't like the printer for some reason. So I had to go there and reload the driver into the computer to make it talk to the printer. So, those hiccups are there. And I don't expect some of the operators to know that. I wish that I could have that, but it's sometimes a little tricky. The way it was said to me when I first bought it was that you have to sometimes shove the driver down the computer's throat and make it take it, and it doesn't want it sometimes.
Oh, that doesn't sound too much fun. Eric, I want to jump back. 16-year-old daughter. There's a lot of us who are starting to get our children, getting to that age. My first question when it comes to that is, how does she respond to dad teaching her, as opposed to, would it be, having someone else with your staff teaching her some of the things with the business?
The rolling of the eyes probably wouldn't be done to the guys, but it does to me.
There it is. Thank you. That's what I was after. Those moments.
So they're probably a little more patient with my other guys, my workers, than with dad. And on the other hand, sometimes if I had a college student, I'd be a little bit softer. But I'll go, Megan, do it now. But we have a fantastic relationship. My kids and I, we work together quite often. They've gone with many events with me, and they've helped me out on a lot of different things since they were 10 years old.
Nice.
So they know the deal. They know the scoop. They know that there's a lot of pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself and on my guys for as close to perfection as we can get it. And they pick up on that, but they also understand the stress that I'm under.
Sure.
One thing that makes us stand out from other people, I think, is that the seriousness of the event. Every single job, regardless of what it is, I get nervous at it because I want it to be absolutely perfect, to be the best event that's ever happened. And I think people do appreciate that. I won't even say I think. I know people appreciate that about us. And I've had guys who haven't had that desire that worked for me, and they're not working for me anymore.
Yep. Yeah, there's other places that probably might fit their style better, but yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not for everyone.
So, Joe, you have kids that are of age that are going to help out you as well?
Yeah, I've got two boys. One's a freshman in college who actually did his second wedding this fall, and Michael, my son, who has performed in Las Vegas and Atlantic City, and he's been doing teen dances and such, and he when it comes to mixing and doing some of those types of things, he picks them. Someone like an MJ or someone who does that type of thing has a little bit more cred than dad, even though I probably know what I'm talking about.
I'm 53. I get it.
Yep, we're right. That's
See,
just
sometimes the younger kids, they look at us, playing music, and they don't realize I'm still pretty hip with all that stuff.
yeah.
I still know what to play, and that I can, still mix it pretty well.
Yeah, we just look like somebody's dad.
Yeah, that's right.
That's about it. So let's
Yeah.
let's kind of talk as we look forward in the business as far as where it's going to go next. What kind of things are on your radar as things that you will be looking at and saying, I might want to add that to my company?
It's outside of the photo booth. It's a little bit different scale, but video walls. I'm in an area where we do a lot of outdoor events. In Lake Placid, we've had the Olympics here twice.
Mm-hmm.
We're hosting World Cup events here again. We just had World Cup bobsled here, and so video panels is something that personally, that's the next step for us. Have been looking around a little bit. I represent ADJ, and so we're probably going to go with that avenue.
Sure.
They have a nice IP-rated outdoor panel, but just haven't really made that move yet. As far as other things, I don't know. I might keep my eyes open at every one of these conventions that I go to.
Mm-hmm.
We attend quite a few, and we work quite a few of those.
Yeah.
In Lake Placid, we get a lot of corporate meetings up here, a lot of corporate retreats. And I had one the other day. They said, okay, well, we want to do a Wild West event. What can we do for that? Aside from, I have a mechanical bull. I don't know, maybe axe throwing.
Yeah.
I saw it at a nightclub and bar, and man, did that look like a lot of fun. I don't know if they're portable or not, but
well, it's great until you're the person who has to catch the axes. Oh.
Yes, I don't know. I mean, I keep my eyes open at every one of these events and look like, okay, what can make me money out there? What's going to be fun? What's new? What's something that nobody else really has in my area?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. As far as photo booths, I mean, I was astounded last year when I went to the convention. Could not believe how many people were there and how many different options there were.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of people building things, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Things to make your life easier, which is great. I always look for easy, faster, things that are just neater, more eye grabbing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. They've come a long way from those very first, the early versions that were the big box, like you'd see in the mall. Even those have come a long way.
That one went out at New Year's Eve. Somebody wanted that New Year's Eve for us, so that did go out.
Let's talk a little bit about the dollar side, one specific side of the business, and then we'll wrap things up here in just a few minutes. We've talked about what you've mentioned on a couple of occasions where when you were going to add something, you wanted to basically, in essence, find a market for it or find a way to make money with it, and you've mentioned the money side of it on a few occasions. Let's take a certain, let's say you're going to add something to your business, whichever side it is. If it's going to be a $5,000 investment, when in the process of research, selling it, and purchasing it, and deploying it, kind of walk us through your process of doing those things to add this $5,000 investment to your business.
So I like to at least see that we have a couple of bookings looking at us, at least have the opportunity there to make some of the money back. Like I was saying with the video panels, I have a few opportunities out there. So at least a third of that's going to be paid off in the first year.
Okay.
That's substantially larger than the $5,000 investment. There's another zero on the end of that one.
Exactly. Those are pretty big.
For the graffiti booth, I thought that was really cool. So that to me was something that I just had a gut feeling that it would work. We do a lot of after prom parties. And so I was thinking, man, this is, with Snapchat being as prevalent as it is and so popular. I have a 16-year-old, 14-year-old, and 8-year-old. These guys are on it all the time. So that is part of our market. So I look at things and I bounce ideas off them.
Mm-hmm. I'll
come back from these shows and go, hey guys, what do you think? And they looked at it like, wow, Dad, that's really cool. So that was $7,500, I think, for the program itself. And the spray cans and the sensor and that kind of thing. So it's a little more expensive. And the mosaic was about the same. That was about 10 grand. We've used it once so far. Sure. But I thought that'd be kind of neat, and so some things, I guess, I know it's going to pay itself off quickly. When the second person asked for a photo booth, I knew I could use this. But for the other ones, the graffiti wall, that was just a gut instinct I had, gut feeling. Yeah. And that has paid itself off. That in a year, it paid itself off. So That's pretty good. I'm okay with that. Would like to get more traction out of the mosaic wall, but I think that could also be me not marketing it correctly.
Yeah, certainly.
I need to get it out there more is what I need to do.
Yeah.
More so than just my website, my Facebook pages, and doing a Facebook blast once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially something so unique as that, finding that right audience.
Right. That market for it, yeah.
Yeah, that's such an
uplighting was easy. We've gone through 3 or 4 different progressions of uplighting. I started with park hands up against the wall, silver park hands that I mounted to a 12 by 12 wood base.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I started with them. Then we moved into, let's see, what were they? It was the 80J pars, but it was the Mega Go, I think is what they were.
Oh, yep. I remember the Mega Go.
The little dots is what they were. I think they're the Mega Go's is what they were called.
Yeah. Little.
So then I went to the Wi-Fi hex pars, Wi-Fi EXR hex pars.
Nice.
So now they're wireless, they're battery operated. So we've gone through different, progressions of those. And once in a while, I'll use a mover against the wall. So, we've with uplighting, I guess that was an easy one, and that paid itself off pretty quickly as well. I see some things out there, some niche things like the love letters. People seem to really like those.
Mm-hmm.
In my market, I don't really see them that often, and honestly, nobody's asked for them. I know there's one other local DJ that has those, and I think he uses them. He shows them at bridal shows, and we're so close in my market here that I kind of think that's his thing. I'm gonna let him have that, because we're friends as well.
Mm-hmm.
In some markets, people that are competitors aren't friends as well, but I try to be friends with everybody here, and so that's his thing. I've left it to him.
Yeah. I got another question here before we wrap up.
Okay.
Asked about a digital guest book. Is that something you have ever checked into?
I thought about them. We did it at a hospital party. There was a retirement party a few years ago, and everybody came in, and I did use the booth to make that digital guest book, the Breeze booth. And I saw that it was David Wolf had asked that question as well.
Yeah.
And we've used that same booth. I forgot to really talk about this, but for the flip books.
Oh, yeah.
So we've used the same thing. So that's kind of a derivative of that one photo booth and the Breeze software.
The flip books, I think I saw that in DJ Expo probably 5 years ago, whatever, where they went, and it was a,
Yep. And I saw it at Drax's show, I believe it. They had a couple people there making them,
mm-hmm.
but they never really caught on. I did a couple college gigs. They never really caught on.
Yeah, that was,
I
completely forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Eric, our time is kind of winding down here tonight. If people would like to reach out and ask questions or just say, hey, what's the best way for them to do that?
Our Facebook page, I monitor it pretty tightly, just Good Guy Productions. That's probably the best way.
Yeah.
But, I'm always out there when I go to the shows. I love answering questions. I love helping people. There have been so many great people in this industry that I've asked questions to that have been very generous with their knowledge to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do the seminars at the shows, I tell people, I start off right at the beginning to kind of, put them at ease that I was the one sitting in those chairs 10 years ago, asking the questions. And so don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask questions that any of us guys that are out there, we're here because we like to help people.
Yeah.
So, whether it be any of the guys that appear on your show, or, anybody doing videos that are on Facebook or YouTube, any of our buds, we love to help people.
Yeah.
We love to, make our industry successful, incredulous. So, and I appreciate you allowing me to come on tonight.
No, that was great. Yeah, well, thank you for coming on and sharing some of your knowledge and experience, because that's such a great educational tool when people can, ask questions, or they can hear the stories of other people who have been in the spots that they are in right now, and how you looked at different things and made your choices and moved where you went and did what you did. So, when
I used to go, even I remember walking into, I think it was Mobile Beat years ago, when the Geysers first came out by Chauvet, and I was like, man, that right there is that's a home run. I ran right to the back of the room. So, taking a look around and just keeping your eyes open, and that would be my advice to people.
Yeah.
See how can I turn it around and have it make money plus make my events better.
Yeah. Yep. Excellent. Yeah, Howie, thanks for jumping in, Howie. Howie just jumped in here.
Hey, Howie, how you doing, man?
Yeah, well, Eric, we're gonna wrap things up for tonight. Once again, you guys can go to, it was Good Guys Production.
Good Guy Productions.
Good Guy
because
Production.
We started as one.
And that would be you. And now he's grown.
Now
up
there are many of us,
Yeah.
but yeah, we
Good Guy
started as
Production.
one.
Excellent. You guys can all find him out on Facebook and message and get a hold of Eric that way. Eric, thank you much for being on with me tonight.
Okay, John, we'll see you at the NAMM show in a couple of weeks.
Yep,
9 days or something.
It's coming up quick. All right. Bye, everybody.
Hey, man. Thanks, everybody. Good night.